And then that roller is something Dad made like 10 years ago. Yeah, but like row crops, that's a wrap on 2024 row crop planting. Hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. This is Chris. Yep, I look a little different. In the summer and late spring, I do shave. Okay? Though, from the objections of my wife, but I do shave. So get used to it. You can put your complaints in the comments if you'd like. But it's Monday. We're starting out up on that soybean field, and Dad is spreading fertilizer, and then we got to disc it once more. He'll do that tomorrow to incorporate our fertilizer. When we get back, I'll show you. Deja had her calf. She kind of up, down, all over the place, kind of like Joey. But once she got to it, boom, 15 minutes done, and then she went right to work. So we'll help Dad get started here, and then we'll get back to the farm and get feeding going. So now, of course, Deja had it in the worst spot possible, so definitely going to get bedded up tonight. I know you're going to shake your head. Deja's not the happiest, but looks, we got a heifer, but this is unfortunately a Bruno, so Dad's her brother or something like that kind of thing. I told Dad at least it doesn't have 2 heads or 8 legs or some weird thing like that. Hey, how's it going? It is Tuesday afternoon, and we are off and running. I believe Dad is disking in the fertilizer that we spread yesterday, or that he spread yesterday. And then I got to feed. We got to get the drill ready to go, which means we got to set all the plates and everything for where they need to be, and then if we have time, we gotta put cedars in the animals I just sorted out yesterday. So if we get everything done, awesome. If we don't, the stuff ready for planting needs to be done first, because we want I'm gonna take a half day tomorrow, and we're hoping to plant soybeans tomorrow. Okay, so this is what we kind of ended the day with. These are those plates that we had, that I was showing the other day, that we were using to cover up holes. And we wanted to get to a magnet style. So we took some JB Weld, and we're JB welding 2 of them to the plate. Now I did one the other day, and I put quite a bit on there, and Dad went and he kind of like ground the face off so it would sit flush. And it seems to work okay. And those things are they're not even 1/8 of an inch thick, so beans aren't going to get under the plate, but we still might put like a strip of duct tape around it too, just to make sure. But hopefully, we are hoping we can get on the field. I didn't really show it because we kind of started getting pissed off at ourselves and each other a little bit. But when you go to beans, you got to put the 14 tooth sprocket on. It's a different sprocket. It's for lower rates of seed. Hey, how's it going? Heading down to the shop right now. Just got home from work about 20 minutes ago, and we've got I'd say about an hour's worth of work to finish setting up the drill. And Dad just took the seed down because we're going to kind of stage it there, and then hopefully we can get up this afternoon and actually start planting, which would be nice because we have to get something in the ground. It is the 15th of May, so we're kind of getting down there a little bit. So hopefully, fingers crossed. We are up at the 26-acre field we're going to plant soybeans on. We had about, because it's like a little after 1, we had about an hour or so of stuff to do to it. Just getting some last minute things set up on it. And then we got up to the field. We've done 2 laps already around the field. Dad's going to do, I think, 4 laps around, and then he'll start doing down and backs. And I just stocked him up with seed, so he's good for probably about an hour. And we are running, if you guys can see that, it's a little bit of a shadow. We are running, our soybean seed is Pioneer P13T47E. Looks to be the variety. So this is only the 2nd year we've been doing soybeans. So, and it is with the 5100 soybean special. And last year it seemed to work out pretty decent, so we're just gonna keep going with it. We're not, when we decided we wanted to do soybeans, it was, we also needed a grain drill to replace the John Deere FBB, which was on its last leg. So the thought was, do you invest in a new grain drill that can handle doing soybeans, or do you do soybeans and invest in setting up the corn planter to do soybeans plus needing a grain drill? So we just opted to try it with the grain drill, and it's in decent shape. We got a nice roller for it, and it seems to work out. So Dad's gonna be cooking along for probably a good 45 minutes to an hour before I come back up. So onwards. So I need to go, and I am jumping into the 44, and I'm gonna go hopefully disc up that wet spot by Mom and Dad's house. Disking in the 4430, and it seems to be doing all right. Dad just wanted me to do the wet spot, but I think I'm gonna try and do the whole thing before I have to go back up to him. But I should be, the line, or where I started, I should be able to get the wet spot at least before I have to go back up there. There Dad goes. We just set him up again. We put 6 bags in, about an acre per bag. So he's about a third done, and he's been going for 2 hours. So I'll be back up here in about an hour or so to check on him. But I think I'm gonna go do feeding now. And then after I check on them, then I'll probably go and probably disc the pit field then, because I think it'd be nice if we can get that done and just out of the way, and then Dad can just zip through those 2 fields on Friday and have them ready to go for the weekend. Yeah, we are also using an inoculant, and again, we just our dealer said, hey, use this, put it on, and just go with it. We didn't really ask any questions, we just go with it. But we're using this stuff, and this is, I believe this is the same stuff we used last year. So it's kind of I think it's kind of it seems like it's kind of twofold. It's the inoculant, but it also helps with, if you're putting like a graphite talc type of thing in your corn planter. We don't necessarily need it for this planter, but so we try and pour some seed in, sprinkle it on, mix it up and stuff. We don't have a big setup where we're pouring it and we're getting into a seed tender or something like that. So, but do the best we can. So the thing in the front of the tractor with the little things hanging down, Dad came up with that, just some angle iron and some drops, and we have it set so that the marker wheel on the drill, as we come back around, basically just acts like a marker on your corn planter. And then that roller is something Dad made like 10 years ago. And as he drops it down, the track erasers are meant to go down with it. We actually did think that they're set a little bit aggressive, and you can obviously see how dusty it is. Well, that is impeccable timing, because I'm coming up the hill to the field and Dad texts me it's empty. So, yeah. But I needed to come up with the tractor this time because I got to move the rest of the seed down by him, because it doesn't really make sense for him to drive all the way back. It's already on a pallet, so it looks like he thinks he has enough for a down and back, but because obviously he's planting. Unfortunately, it looks like he has 0 crosswind. And I'm sure going through his mind right now is, why am I not driving the 44? So we're down at the pit field in the 44. Dad's about 2/3 done. He probably has about an hour and a half, which he's probably, I mean, he's actually making pretty good time, and we probably filled him up for the last time. This is about 9.5 or 10 acres, give or take. So this will take me about an hour and a half. So we should get done about the same time. Just finished up the field disking. I'm gonna take this back to the shop, and then I gotta run up and see where Dad's at. Hopefully he's either done or really, really close to being done. And right as I'm pulling up on top of the hill, perfect timing again. He was just coming back this way on his last, literally his last strip. And that roller does a really, really nice job. You know, it's kind of like, it'd be nice if you had one of those like 30-foot pull type rollers. You can go out, do your planting, and then go over and hit it with one of those, knock all the rocks down and stuff. But that thing does a pretty darn decent job. It's only just a real pistol to hook up. We need to set up a little bit of some kind of a flex hitch or something. So the 7000 fits a little nicer than the grain drill does, especially if you tie up the arms like that. It fits really nice. Yeah, so there's nothing super fancy about our 7000. It's pretty bare bones. We have the stock closing wheels, and the only reason we really haven't thought of going away from them is because we do have such sandy soils, and since we do prep our ground, it's not like the closing wheels need to like actually press into, you know, anything halfway firm. If we did switch, there's a couple styles I wouldn't mind trying. Can't remember what they're called, but it's more of like the spike design, but the wider spike, not like the fine point spike style. Can't remember what the name of it was. If I heard it, I'd know it right off the top of my head. Yeah, so I want to replace all those chains for the row units. There's only 4 of them. I luckily found the connector link for the one on the end. But I told Dad about it last year because some of the links weren't even like flexing. They're not flexing. It's just old, it's wore out, it's rusted. I mean, we oil the piss out of it every year, but they need to get replaced. So I have new chain. It's the right size. So hopefully it goes well. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. That didn't go too bad at all. So these are all new chains, bought them from Shoup. Decent price. They came perfect to size. Matched them up with the other one, with one that I took off, and it was literally like half a link shorter. You know, just old stuff stretched. But right. So like I said, tomorrow morning, Dad's probably gonna disc. I'm probably gonna finish this. So maybe we'll bring you along for that. Tie this all together. All right, catch you guys tomorrow. All right, so we have the corn planter 7000 is all greased up, oiled up, ready to go. Our population is actually set to where we wanted it at about 29-30,000, give or take, and that is per our rep where we get our seed from. So right now we're actually going to test the seed monitors. So there is the planting tube right here, and it's not turned on yet. So let's turn it on so I can show you the laser or the beam. So we got this guy. It is a Vanguard system. I think it can handle up to 12 rows. Alright, so that's ready to go. Alright, so now there should be little beams of light that tell you that there's juice. Yep. You can see that little beam down there. And then we'll either throw a seed down it, or Dad is going to wiggle a welding rod down there to break the beam. Every time the beam breaks, it registers. So ours is set up for 4 rows. All right. See, and now this one, because he's moving in 1, good to go. And then we can set the delay, and it's like only a couple seconds from when seed is not dropping. And 1 is our far left, 2, 3, and 4 is our far right as we're sitting on the tractor. Ready for 2. So then we just double check all of the tubes just to make sure that they're operating. Yep. 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 So for us, this was a little bit more than we wanted to spend when we got the planter, but honestly, it is really nice. It's good visual, good sound. It can, like I said, it can handle up to like 12 rows, but for us, that's all we need. All right, so here is the variety of corn we're using, and It works out pretty nice when we get going because we'll just put a bag in each one. That'll easily get done with the field we started. Then we add a little bit of that graphite talc powder as a lubricant for the seed and for the system for the planters. So this thing is pretty much ready to go. Brought the gravity box down with the fertilizer. We'll take it down to the field, and then we'll put a little bit of fertilizer in here, enough to do a round or two. All right, so Dad's headed down to disc that field, and I'm gonna head down to the farm and feed. So yeah, 8 acres went pretty decent. Disconnected everything here. It's not too bad, just hydraulic, and then the one major connector for the seed monitor. So yeah, let's head down to the farm. Here we go. Dad is off and running. Like I said, this is about a 9 to 10 acre field. So hopefully we have enough corn seed. We only had 3 bags left. It looked like we had about 2 bags already in the planter, and then we added 3. So I think I'm pretty close to where he's going to be when he needs fertilizer again. We should only have to fill up with fertilizer one more time. I need to try and remember to bring the hoe down with me, because that's what we got left for fertilizer. All right, we're up on the field back by Mom and Dad's, and we're gonna chisel the rest. Dad's gonna chisel the last third of this, but we want to hit that wet spot first, just so we know we can do it or not. Got all the fertilizer, extra fertilizer pulled out of the gravity box. We'll wash that out in the next day or so. because it needs a good rinse out. Yeah, essentially Dad got that field done, so that's a wrap on 2024 row crop planting. We do have that little bit, 16 acres of hayseed we want to plant. We'll seed it in with oats. Probably have discussions on how heavy that should be. I think we've been going a little heavier every single year. We used to do like a half rate or like a third rate of oats with our hayseed, and then it was like a half rate, and honestly I'd say let's just push almost a full rate of oats. We got to plant that yet, but like row crops, that's a wrap on 2024 row crop planting. Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on where we're at, like emergence on our soybeans and corn, probably in like a week or so. Kind of give you an idea how that's going. But other than that, we're gonna call that a wrap to the video and an end of the weekend. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. Please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you got any comments, please leave them, or questions, leave them in the comments. And thanks for coming along.